storytelling perspective too, like, he's sort of this embodiment of nightmares. And so how do you approach that from a visual standpoint? How do you approach that from a character standpoint with the human characters who may interact with him, or like how does Kong interact with him? How does he carry himself? What kind of feelings does he instill? And that was a really cool thing to kind of let it bubble up to the surface in the writing. So that was really cool.
So with the reveal the other day of the GVK Kingdom Come comic, there was an interesting bit in the synopsis that explained the main character would be haunted by basically like nightmares and stuff of one of Godzilla's ancient clashes and rivals and stuff. We weren't for sure. It doesn't specify what rivalry. I think I just completely butchered that. But we don't know exactly who for sure. We don't know what time period this book's going to take place in. A lot of people, from what I've seen, are predicting 2012. It likely doesn't take place after at least King of the Monsters, because it does specify it is a sequel to The Birth of Kong. Could be a sequel to 2014 in a way. It could take place after 2014. There's not enough information. But if it takes place before 2014, the only battle that we're really aware of Godzilla having, that this character could possibly even know about, would be Shin. If it takes place after 2014, it could be something like the Mutos, Muto Prime. But in reality, as people pointed out to me yesterday, I went back and watched the WonderCon panel. What monster is supposed to embody nightmares? Well, Camazotz. Camazotz was talked about being a monster that can turn the sky to night and is just the embodiment of nightmares. So what other way could he, what other creature could she be having nightmares about? Well, it's most likely Camazotz if they're building it up to be a nightmare. So what's this confirm about Camazotz? Well, this would mean Camazotz is actually not a Kong enemy, although he will be in the book. He's actually an ancient rival to Godzilla. So that's really, that shocked me when we started theorizing about that. So in the comic book, Kong might be fighting one of Godzilla's ancient rivals, which is Camazotz. And Camazotz, the way they're describing him, is he has the power to turn the sky to night. It doesn't specify in what way, but it could possibly be something similar to Ghidorah, where he can just generate these massive, like, clouds or, anything to block out the sky, make it just pitch black out. Could the synopsis possibly be hinting at the fact that Camazotz could be almost on par with Ghidorah? We know Muto Prime, most of the Godzilla enemies, such as Muto Prime, are up there with Ghidorah, if not as strong as, or even better than. A lot of Godzilla's rivals are pretty powerful in the films. The Mutos weren't the most powerful per se, but they were strong on their own in a way, and together they completely dominated Godzilla, just the two of them. Then you go forth, Shin. Shin was pretty weak as well, but then we start looking at some of the alphas like Ghidorah, and of course, Muto Prime, who are extremely powerful. So most of the time, the Titans that survive against Godzilla, like a single battle, are the stronger ones, like Prime in them. And it could be possible that Camazotz is up there in another alpha, especially if this comic book takes place before the events of 2014 and King of the Monsters and Aftershock and stuff. There could be another Alpha Titan that's been hanging around. We do know that Camazotz has, like, his horn ripped off. It could be from an ancient battle with Godzilla. And this could mean that Kong, they're basically going to build up Kong by having him fight a very powerful Godzilla villain who literally has the power to black out the night, or the sky. So what do you guys think about all this? Someone brought this up to me yesterday. I thought it was pretty interesting. I personally do see it. Especially with the description and the WonderCon stuff. Camazotz does seem likely to be a Godzilla enemy that's pretty powerful and will be the one haunting Audrey in the comic, as we have got explained to us back at WonderCon. So, what do you guys think of this? I personally think it is 100% that Camazotz will indeed be a Godzilla enemy. And yeah, so what do you guys think of all of it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Please share, subscribe, turn on bell notification, get notification of all future uploads. And as always, thank you for watching. As always, peace and bye-bye.